And here we are, guys. Halloween night, 30 East Drive, Griff and
Bucket
Steve.
list.
Kind of a bucket list moment as well. I'll never forget the time when I watched Mouse Haunted live here on Halloween and just thought it was just absolutely insane. So the fact that we get chance to do a live stream on a Halloween night, the most, active night of the year, on All Hallows Eve and whatever, inside, in our opinion, the world's most haunted house is an absolute privilege. Big shout out to Haunted TV, without the E, for making this happen. We're going to go a bit more into that as the stream goes on.
I looked a bit casual there, just leaning against the door. I was watching you. Hi.
We've got Mr. Barry Dodds with us.
Hello.
The 30 East Drive one.
Well, this is I'm just like you. I was one of the people who watched The Most Haunted live and thought, oh, that must be really cool to do that on Halloween in that house. And here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are doing it.
We've actually been gifted the opportunity because, let me come through to this while I talk to you, because it's not very often you get this chance to do this in 30 East Drive on Halloween, so it's amazing in itself.
So we're going to introduce who we've got and what we're going to do.
He's going to introduce.
So I've brought some guests with me. I've brought some backup because I am a ghost hunter and I've been a ghost hunter for many, many years, but I'm a shit ghost hunter. I've found not many ghosts. So I got a bit of backup in the form of some people who have had paranormal experiences, including somebody who's a little bit sensitive to them. So if we come through here, we can meet my friends.
Gonna hit the lights.
You're our guests, and everyone's heard enough from me and Griff over the years plugging this location. I think it only makes sense that we start the investigation with Mr. Barry Dodds and Lou guiding us through this first section of the stream. So, is there anything that you can feel at the moment, or anything at all?
Well, that's what I was wondering, because you have been in here once before when I first came here.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, how did it feel coming back into this space?
Well, when we first came in, it felt really homely, and the last time that we came, it didn't feel like that at all. But then, when I've sort of experienced things like that before, when it's been really homely, then you're sort of lulled into a false sense of security when it's like, oh, this is really nice, and then it goes Pete Tong. So, but I was I think the last time I was here, this is the room where I sort of felt most of the stuff in. And while I've been sat here, it's like, I can feel like, do you ever get like pins and needles or tingling in your fingers and stuff like that? So I've sort of like been getting that, but I don't know whether that's because I've just had loads of Coke. Not drugs, but like Coca-Cola. But I don't.
Other brands are available.
Other brands are available. But yeah, so I need to sort of like, when we walk around, we had a little brief walk around upstairs, and Eddie sort of like, you said you didn't like
I don't
one of
like,
the bedrooms.
the one of the bedrooms when I walked upstairs. I've never been here before, so this is my first time here. And it just feels, it's not what I was expecting at all. It feels like a really
Which
nice
room was that? Philip's?
Philip's room. Just as I walked up the stairs, I looked in there, and my initial reaction was, I don't like that room.
Yeah.
What I felt at the top of those stairs is an odd feeling outside the bathroom door.
That's where it was,
of
yeah.
breathlessness. Now, I'm aware that I'm not the slimmest of lads.
Yeah.
And climbing those stairs is a challenge as I get older. But it is like an odd feeling, like you feel a bit like you've had the wind taken out of you a little bit, and it is right outside that bathroom door.
Yeah, that's where like I got like sort of a cold, not a breeze, but it was like this cold spot, which everyone can say, oh, you're in a haunted house, well, you're going to get that. But that's when you logically have to work out, is a window open, is it from the loft or whatever. But that's interesting because it was in exactly the same spot as you're describing that.
Is there anyone here with us tonight? Is anybody who'd like to come into this room and talk to us?
Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. So it was like a noise upstairs.
I didn't hear that.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, if I take my hat off, I might be able to.
Does anybody like to come into this room and talk to us? Does anybody who'd like to come into this room and talk to us?
Did you hear that?
I can hear trick-or-treaters.
There's a few voices
I can hear some
outside.
voices outside.
It is raining outside, so the trick-or-treaters have stopped.
that's a good
I
thing.
suppose
Isn't
Yeah.
the one good thing about this house is that, like, to differentiate between what's going on outside, like I can hear the pond noise constantly just trickling away, but that noise that I heard.
There.
Oh, there it
That.
is again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in here.
So what I was talking about, obviously, like that kind of banging noise. I heard,
That's
so.
what you think it's in here, but I thought it was from
Yeah,
upstairs.
more
Yeah,
just
yeah,
my
yeah. As in
direction.
here in the
In the house, right,
yeah,
right,
but
right.
upstairs.
Yeah.
My direction is there.
Oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
That's in here.
Oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
That's in here.
So, if any of you watched our last video from the legendary 30 Drive, we had some camera action in this very spot where Griff is.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, so while we're walking around the house, we just want to debunk a few things that people have said online about, like, maybe this could have been this and that.
Carol
could have
got
been
a
that.
twig and
So now
started.
people think that this door here, because the camera was right here, and people believe that Carol got a stick through this door, through the letterbox of this door, and did something with the camera. Now, the only problem is, there is no letterbox.
Yeah, there's nothing.
So, it's just stupid. And there's a curtain there.
Unless she's got a stick that comes all the way around here, all the way down into this section, and then messes
Hold on a
with
sec,
the camera.
Steve.
But then even then,
There could be an hole behind this mirror.
is there a hole?
Imagine if there was.
Oh, no.
Just imagine that.
Just an eye.
Because we hadn't even looked. We just had the confidence. And just there like that, looking through, going, like Ace Ventura when he's looking at the thing he's going. Like he's like that. But anyway, we're gonna go upstairs just to show you a little bit of like what we had to deal with on that night when we was asleep. There is no letterbox, and there's a curtain there also.
Well, this is the room where me and you have had pretty much everything, isn't it, Jess?
Well, the room that you're standing in right now, that room is probably one of the most horriblest rooms you can stay in, to sleep in, and the best place for activity. The majority of everything that we've ever had is in this room right here.
If you look at him, it looks like something pushes on his chest. Now, I don't know if it was like a spasm that you have when you're sleeping, but after checking the footage over 2.5 hours, that's the only time that he actually does that movement.
So, regarding in the bed where I was sleeping, it's just there. I've been in contact with the sleep apnea people at the respiratory centre in Wolverhampton, because obviously they monitor me. and they've explained to me that the movement that was done had nothing to do with the machine, and they couldn't explain to me what that movement was, as in if I was convulsing, I'd convulse outwards, and they said to me specifically that it looks like someone's pushed you, and now this is coming from doctors and stuff like that. And I mean, Carl Morgan, one of my friends, he ripped me out the other day, and he was like, there's no way they've got time for you, they ain't got time for anyone. And I'm like, I'm on the books, they know who I am. I've obviously got to be monitored through my sleep because I stopped breathing like first 6 times in an hour, I think it was. And so yeah, I spoke to these guys at the hospital, and they've completely said that it's got nothing to do with the machine, all your vitals were fine, everything was fine, and it looks like something's pushed you down. So
Lou, do you feel anything at all in this room?
It's a bit. We all 3 of us said while your clip was playing that we all went really cold. Just shut that curtain just to see whether there was a breeze coming through.
Because I could feel
Yeah, it's here.
the
wasn't
cold.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so
then
where was that you could feel the cold?
Here.
around here.
No, that's
yeah.
exactly where I was sleeping 2 weeks ago, guys.
And I had it when I came in. I just went from top to bottom, just chill, and then the back of my head was just like, this don't feel great in here.
Is there anybody in this room who'd like to make themselves known? We've heard that you're in this room and you're active in this room. Could you do something to let us know that you're here?
That's the youths of Pontefract.
I might be someone.
No, it could have been. Yeah. Never presume.
Never presume. If there's a spirit in this room, the one that sat on the bed when I was on the bed, the actual K2 meter is on the bed that I was sleeping on, is there any chance that you could lay on that bed or stand on that bed? If you could, just do it for us. Show us this power. Show the people at home what you did to me. Well, you already did.
Do you want us to leave? Do you want to be left alone?
I'll follow her if you want.
Okay, yeah.
See that cold breeze just come there again.
Yeah, it's just really cold in here, but I don't. But yeah, it's just really cold. Yeah.
So you don't pick up.
What do you feel like in there? Did you
Well,
feel
it just-
you felt like you wanted to come out?
Yeah, it just like my temperature keeps going up all over the place, and I don't know whether that's because I'm menopausal, but the cold literally is here, and then I'm standing in here, and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
I heard that very.
Did you hear that
yeah,
loud?
yeah,
That
yeah.
bang was.
Yeah, I heard that. And then I'm standing in here, and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
And then I'm standing in here, and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
That was
What the-
downstairs, wasn't it?
No,
I thought it
it was
was
here.
I thought it was in the parents' room.
It was in this direction, and I haven't moved. I was standing there looking at Griff.
I know I've been
Did you
filming
hear
you the
that?
whole time.
That was loud.
That was like
It was like a proper, like that isn't even made of the
was
material
more-
it would have been.
It was more
Like a hollow, yeah.
It was like a boom.
That was good.
Can you do that again? You've got our attention, so try doing it again.
And if everyone at home, hopefully you heard that. These mics are really good. That was like that loud, but in the hallway as such, wasn't it, Stu?
Yeah.
It was really loud. So I'm hoping that you guys heard that at home.
Someone said like a kick drum.
Yeah, like it was really loud.
Totally. That's exactly what it sounded
Like really loud. So we've obviously had something happen in that direction, but we've come up here with the Melrem. The Melrem is turned on, so I mean, I know we've just had a massive loud bang, but should we revert back to where we was carrying
That's
on?
actually shocked me, like how loud it actually was, and it felt like it was like with us.
Is there a camera set up in the parents' bedroom?
There's a camera. There's just us, your camera and our camera now. So what do you feel, Stu?
It feels fine.
No, but how did you feel when that happened?
You know what? I thought it was you kicking the door. But when you turned around and you said, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh shit!"
You saw me inside the middle of the...
I know. I just thought you just when you boot things just randomly. I just thought there it was smacking the door.
I mean, I don't know where he's talking about, guys. I don't go around booting things randomly. I don't know, mate.
We're going to change it up. We're going to bring in another 2 guests that we've got. But right now, we're going to have an exclusive interview with the original owner of 30 East Drive. What a legend. Bill Farrar, 98 years old. We're going to run the clip right now and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And when we come back, we're going to have 2 new guests and we're going to do something a bit different. So stay tuned and here's the clip of Bill Farrar's interview.
Welcome, Bill Farrar.
Hello.
Hello. It's an absolute honour to meet you. I've heard so much about you, and it's amazing to have the opportunity to interview a World War II veteran.
Well, there were a lot of us.
Do you mind me asking how old you are, Bill?
98.
You're 98.
98, yeah.
You're looking very good for 98.
So they keep telling me.
We're going to focus now on your time here in 30 East Drive. So we are here in your old house. You were the first people, the first family to ever live in 30
Yes,
East Drive.
My wife Barbara and daughter Jane, yes. Back in September 54.
In September in 54, yeah. It's what's it like coming back in?
Well, a few years ago we got in touch with Bill to try and rectify some of the dates that had obviously been bandied about that we realised was wrong, and so Bill invited us up here and we came back and it was a strange experience, there's no doubt about it. We'd put it all behind us. It was a no-go area. Once we left here, my wife Barbara would never talk about it. She wouldn't tell you anything about it, not even me, and what had happened to her in this house. It was taboo, absolutely taboo. So coming back, it was an experience.
When did you first realise that things weren't normal in here?
Well, I don't think I really did realise, not to the same extent my wife must have done. I mean, things did occur, like bottles of milk moving about and splashing off. I thought I might have knocked them, like the ornaments moving about. As the years have gone by and what's cropped up, that you think back and you realise that something must have been happening, because when we moved from it, I'd come off duty on the morning, being a fireman, and she simply said to me, "Bill, we're moving on Saturday." I said, "Moving? Yes, we're changing with the Pritchards. We're going down Chesterfield Road and they're coming in here." I said, "Oh." I said, "Why?" She said, "I can't live in here anymore." I said, so I accepted it at that. So that's what we did.
Did she ever say what it was?
Never. Never. Never said what had happened or anything.
I also hear that things would happen to your baby, Jane.
Oh, Jane, yes, and she just often appeared with scratches on her face, and we couldn't understand that. And even once with a pillar on her face. where we're living with in-laws, she slept like any baby does, no problem at all. We came to this house, she never slept here without crying.
What do you think, I don't know what to call it or the Black Monk or whatever is supposed to be in here, what do you think it is?
Well, I don't know. There is many unexplained things in this world. We can't pin any of them down to any one thing. People have come across what they call miracles all over the world. The unexplainable ones. This could be just one of those. People try to scientifically explain them. Some have their own theories. Some people believe, some people don't.
When you did the house swap with the Pritchards, did Barbara say anything to the Pritchards about the house and what she'd experienced?
I'm not aware of what she said to the Pritchards at all. It was never discussed.
Right, so obviously before we start, just very quickly, obviously, for anybody who doesn't know who the hell I am and either just joined us, I've been investigating this place. I don't know what camera I'm on. Been investigating this place for a very kind of long time, over many years. Used to be with a group called Paranormal Truth. Been with these guys, Steve and Griffin, many times. Still I come in very skeptically minded, don't really like gadgets and things like that, and just want to get a genuine experience. And I came in here very skeptically, and then had the experience I was looking for, essentially. We'll talk about that a bit later on for those that don't realise what I'm talking about, because it completely changed my mind about this place. I know there's lots of people still skeptical of 30 East Drive, but I get it. I do get it, because a lot of people come in here don't get anything at all. But I had to change my mind, and it happened here in this room. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Right, Bill. Like I said, I've been here ages, and then many times before, but I've never actually met you. This is the first time I've actually met you properly. And I always wanted to chat to you. So it's actually really good. So obviously 30 East Drive, am I right in thinking that you grew up around, or did you know somebody who lived in Pontefract, which is how you came to know about this house in the first place, before the film and things?
Yes, definitely not my territory. No, it's my old copywriter when I was working in advertising. His name was Pat Holden, and his mum was related to the Pritchard family. So his mum used to spend quite a lot of time in this house when the main events were occurring. And Pat, one day, just sort of said, "Have I told you about the family ghost?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And he started to tell me all the incredible things that his mother had witnessed. Pat was too young to come into the house, so it was all sort of via his mum. And then he gave me Colin Wilson's book, Poltergeist! And in it is just the most fabulous account of all the things that happened in this house in the late 60s,
Yeah.
early 70s, yeah. So I encountered it through my...
And I'm assuming then you thought it was such a good account from reading what happened in here that you felt, obviously for those that don't realise, a film producer, and actually felt you had to create a film about this place as well. So do you want to give people a little bit of history about that for those that don't realise about the film and haven't seen it?
Well, I mean, it's at the time I wasn't a filmmaker, but I've always been really into intriguing ideas, great ideas, and Poltergeist moves into Council House just sounded like the best storyline and the best idea that I'd heard in some time. So we vowed that we would turn the story, this sort of legendary story, into a movie, and it took us 20 years. Pat had to learn how to become a director, I had to learn how to produce, so that's why it took so long. But eventually, we managed to get this story out there.
You're still here, aren't you?
I am a marketing guy, and it does sound like a great marketing idea, but I honestly, genuinely am terrified of what's in this house, and I will not spend the night in this house. It terrifies me.
What kind of draws you to that conclusion? What have you experienced things whilst you've owned this property, or experienced things for yourself which you think actually categorically that must be something in here? In this house has made you think that?
Oh, I've experienced so many things, and bear in mind daytime, because that's the only time I'm here. It was one of the most incredible. Well, probably
What was that?
the most.
Hello? Stay!
Shut up.
Right, okay.
Guys, hold on a sec,
Guys,
That
that's amazing.
Now, the banging we've just heard is coming from the hallway, we'll agree?
Yeah. I'd say possibly parents' room, but definitely out there.
So for me personally, I felt like it was on this. I'm just getting myself together because that was quite loud.
That's loud. Yeah.
It was one of the most incredible. Well, probably
What was that?
the most.
Hello? Stay!
Yeah.
It was one of the most incredible. Well, probably
What was that?
the most.
Hello? Stay!
was
So
very
we've heard it kind of like a. It's not even that. It's like a hollow noise, like a. While we was talking,
I was downstairs.
and that was loud, guys. I mean, let's just.
How many knocks would you say? 6?
There was
No,
a-
that was 3.
it was-
It was 3 big. Bags.
I think it was 4 or 5 put together.
Yeah, I thought
'Cause
it
it
was
was-
3 and then another couple.
Hello? Spirit? It's not that noise. What is it?
No, it was way deeper. It was like in the building.
I'm trying to figure out the noise, guys, but again, you can see a lot more than me because I'm in the dark, and I know you guys can see stuff at home, and it's in the light, and we're all happy and stuff like that when you've all got the light, but we are in the pitch dark, and we're hearing. That's it. That's the noise.
Sounded like what are you hitting?
More boomy than that, but that's closer.
That's pretty close,
That's
though,
close
isn't it?
to it, yeah.
So that is the the chest of drawers of the family, like
okay.
the wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's the wardrobe. I'm just going around looking at the noise, guys. Now, was that anybody downstairs? Sorry.
So that was no one downstairs. We heard it just as loud as you did. But before that happened, there was a knock. There was 3 knocks really loud to the point where we thought it was somebody at the door. So I went and answered the door, and there's no one there. But it was like somebody banging on pipes.
Yeah.
And Eddie says he swore it was in the room with us. I thought it was someone at the door. Cause I went to the door,
do you believe that could have, like, if we can denominate them, did that sound like anything that could have come from the boiler room above you, as that's above the kitchen?
No, this was downstairs.
Okay.
If we just be quiet for a minute and just listen. It's felt like there's been so much banging, like it was coming from everywhere.
Yeah. Because what we've heard tonight is some of the loudest bangs that we've ever heard. The problem is I can't pinpoint them, and it's something that, like, a lot of people at home, even though we know, could be left down to human error.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, there was a little low thump then as I was talking.
Oh. Did you hear that downstairs?
A lot of people at home, even though we know, could be left down to human error.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, there was a little low thump then as I was talking. A lot of people at home, even though we know, could be left down to human error.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, there was a little low thump then as I was talking. The noise that we heard up here, me, Justin and Bill, and probably everyone downstairs, sounded a bit like this cupboard that I'm standing next to. like a little like that. But we're going to carry on with the interview, and if we hear anything else, then obviously we'll get back to you guys. And because the owner's in the building now, the spirits that reside in this house might not like Bill, because Bill bought this house, and obviously Bill's brought all these people into the limelight with the spirits that reside here. So, I mean, we hope that they like Bill, because Bill's a nice bloke, but there's a chance that there's a few of these spirits that hate Bill and don't want Bill in the house because
Stare it up,
all of these people to disturb the spirits. If that is true in any way or manner, could you make a loud bang for me now? Has to be as loud as the ones we heard. Do you like the owner?
So guys, that's Bill just leaving 30 East Drive. We want to say firstly a massive thank you to absolutely everyone who has watched this live stream on Halloween night. It's been an absolute pleasure. Our biggest stream we've ever done. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. We do it for you guys. And we really do mean it. It's been a lot of hard work trying to get it all put together, the effort, but it's been worth it. So massive thank you from me and Griff, who is over there at the table over there.
Yeah,
he's monitoring the stream.
You guys know me better than anything. I'm going to be sitting in that chair and I ain't going to be moving.
Yeah.
The noises that we've heard tonight have been amazing. So, like Steve said earlier, appreciate everybody watching, appreciate everything like that. But we've got some investigating to do. Yeah. So Steve's going to do half an hour on his own around the house, and I'm going to be completely sitting there, hand on heart, from me to you. So if anything happens, I'm going to have the noise cancelling headphones on, and I'm only going to hear it from there. So enjoy.
So I'm going to call out to all the spirits inside 30 East Drive. It's been a privilege and an honour to be here on Halloween night. Big shout out to Haunted TV, Bill Bungay, for making it happen. We've heard a lot of bangs and knocks. I know a lot of you just think, oh, it's just a knock, it's just a bang, it's just a house settling. But when it sounds like someone booting a door right next to you, that ain't just your regular house settling down. Remember, it's always a lot different when you actually hear compared to what you see on the camera. Stop watching us and go and investigate yourself. Find the truth for yourself. There's definitely something inside this house tonight. Could you come around me? Come towards me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, if you can see the white screens, please walk towards them. But Griff, Bill and Justin heard some incredible noises. It was like 7 knocks, I believe. Is there any chance you could do that again right now? Before anyone asks, of course we would love more. You know, if you wanted, you could throw a book at us. I think that's the Bible. Could throw anything at us. You could growl, whistle. Not many people get to investigate this place. on Halloween. Let's show the world what you can do. Could you walk into this room? We have been here quite a few times over the last few months. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of guests. A lot of different guests. We brought World of Mr. Grey. Dan, absolutely incredible. Hanging it out with him for the first time. Hopefully not the last. He didn't see anything. He didn't believe in this house. We brought Mr. Dead Cold Paranormal, Mr. Mark Boner, and his friend Steve. They loved it. They are believers. But you didn't show yourself to them either. But you showed yourself to me a few weeks after that. A little girl at the top of the stairs. These very stairs, right here. A head poking round the corner and darted away into Diane's room. Seen it with my very eyes. Then Griff got growled at. We come again. We south. And it all kicked off. Do something now. Use all the energy of everyone that's watching at home right now.
Appreciate everyone that's donated, appreciate everyone that's watched. And yeah, pretty much it's just been fun, hasn't it? It's been a fun stream. Have you enjoyed it, Bill?
Yeah, it's been great. Really interesting. So, see you again. Come and visit us.
Sandy's ready. You don't want to plug your haunted TV? You just want to walk off?
Oh, yes, you can come and see haunted.com. No E in haunted.
Or check out the Warriors podcast at the Warriors Pod.
Or check out Spit or Swallow podcast.
What?
Yes, it's about wine tasting.
It makes a lot of sense, as you guys can probably tell. We're going to have a lot of fun after this. But yeah, see you later, guys. Peace.